Hey guys, this is my review of the Kershaw Leek, partially serrated. I don't know if this review is long awaited, but it is long awaited for me because I've been carrying this for a very long time as my EDC blade. Or long for me because I usually get a lot of knives, so I have to test them all quickly. And this has been just one that I've really been digging, so I've been carrying it for a long time. About a little over 6 months. I know it doesn't sound very long, but it's pretty long to me, and I'll still be carrying it for as long as it lasts, or until I lose it. But I treat it like I should. I mean, like I don't baby it, but I don't abuse it either. This is a spring-assisted Kershaw knife. You guys can hear. This is the one with the stainless steel handle scales. There's no liners because it's stainless steel scales. There's no need for a liner. There's a plastic backspacer which holds the torsion bar. That's just one little bar that has a little hook that goes into the blade tang and then into the actual handle itself. And that is what makes this knife spring assisted. It's very fast. I love the speed of this, and if you use I need to get into this real quick. These are not thumb studs, and it's just one of my pet peeves is people call these thumb studs. They're not thumb studs, you guys. They are blade stops. Blade stops are you can use them as thumb studs, and they work great, but it's meant to stop the blade from overextending out after it hits the open position, so it won't break the blade or put pressure on the lock or anything like that, which is a good idea, and they do work as thumb studs. I just wanted to tell everyone that they're not thumb studs because people really seem to. I've only seen a couple of videos where people correct themselves and go, oh wait, never mind, they're blade stops. So I want to tell you guys, they're blade stops, not thumb studs. I really do like this knife a lot. It's a great utility blade. It's not the strongest tip in the world, which is what people seem to like to diss this knife about, is the tip, because it's very sharp and needle-like, very small, not super strong tip. There's not a whole lot of metal. It just goes down to a very sharp point. And people don't like that because they assume that it's just going to snap off, and it hasn't. I've used this relatively hard, not like using it as a throwing knife, but I've used this as a utility knife. I've cut pieces out of wood with this blade. I've done all sorts of stuff with this knife, and that tip has not even come close to breaking off. It hasn't ever snapped anywhere. It hasn't ever, I've never had any problems with it. Blade steel, I don't know exactly what kind of composition it is. I know it is Kershaw's Sandvik, which is pretty nice steel. It holds an edge long enough. It takes an edge easy enough, so I don't have any problems with it. Again, spring assisted, you have the blade stops you can use, and it's very fast that way. It's fast both ways, but I think the blade stops are a little bit faster just because you already have the motion of your thumb going towards it. And then you have the flipper, which is the easiest way. Not a whole lot of push on here. And what it means by spring assisted, because some people think these are switch blades because you push a button and it's open, but it's not a button. It is the tang of the blade. And what this means is, let's see if I can get this. Okay, if this was a fully automatic knife, the blade would be trying to spring out at every position. You see, it does not spring before this point, so that's where the spring kicks in, and the spring stops right there. After this point, it's all manual, but the spring just has enough momentum going on, inertia with the blade, to where it just flicks it open. But only this portion of the blade opening is spring assisted. So it's not too big of a pain in the butt to close one-handed. It is a frame lock, very strong. I don't really have a need for this. I think the liner lock Kershaws with the nice handles are fine because I know this is not a hard to use blade. That is what I use things like my SOG Flash 2 for. Let me go ahead and compare these two. This does have the wave feature on it. I suggest you guys go to my channel and look at that video on how I made the wave. It's a very nice addition to a emergency tactical blade. This is also my EDC blade though. Differences. Okay. Sog flash tube length 3.5 inches, 3 inches exactly on the actual cutting edge. The knife close is 4 inches, so you guessed it, 7 inches overall length from tip to end. It does have a reversible clip. It's up for tip up carry right now. It's my favorite one. I'll show you guys one in a second here. But also has tip down carry, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's not a biggie. Price. By the way, I just only wanted to show you guys. I'll get back to the serrations differences in a second here, but price is about $30 to $40 depending on where you find it, and it's definitely worth it. Made in the USA. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says Kershaw Speed Safe USA. On the other side it has 1660 ST. That is the model. 1660 is the basic Kershaw Leek. ST stands for partially serrated. Canonian design. It is patented by the company that owns Kershaw and Kershaw in general. Blade centering on mine is not perfect. You can see it's not a big deal. It doesn't rub, so it's not a big deal to me. I do wish it was a little better, but it's not. Again, not a big deal. There is a phosphorus bronze washers in here for low friction, and those work great. If you guys want, post in the comments down below if you want a video on how to take this apart and clean it. It's very simple. Like, if it is like beyond simple. Like, it's just crazy. Let me get into the blade here. I don't know if you guys can see, but the blade is not completely Wharncliffe. Wharncliffe is a completely flat cutting edge. This one does have some belly. I think the completely plain edge versions of the Kershaw Leek, where it's just there's no serrations at all, it's just completely flat, they look a little bit more flat because this part would be completely flat, so you'd have the belly ended up right here. But here, this whole part is a belly, just a very tiny one, very minute difference between the belly and then the flat part. Serrations, scallop serrations are amazing. Between them is razor sharp. I'm not going to do a paper cutting test because the knife itself isn't razor sharp right now. Actually, I have a piece of cardboard. This is going to be kind of hard to do one-handed. This isn't a paper cutting test, obviously, because I don't have any paper. This is cardboard. But in between the serrations are razor sharp, and they stay that way just because of the grind. The blade itself is not bad, but it's not perfect either. The difference is these are the serrations that come on most blades. Little 3 prongs and then one in between. And these work fine, but they mostly just tear. This one actually does a good job of cutting. So why do I like a tip up carry? Because when it's in my pocket, let's just say this is my pocket. When it's in my pocket like this, I can reach down into my pocket with my thumb and then put my finger on the outside of my pocket, so when I pull it out, I can just open it up quickly. So I suggest you guys try that. It's much faster. Check out my channel, like, comment, subscribe. Trying to really get out here, you guys. Not a whole lot of activity on my channel yet, but I do have people interested, so I really appreciate all the support. Thanks. There you guys go. Kershaw Leek, partially serrated, spring assisted knife. Oh, let me go ahead and show you guys the difference between these two. This is completely spring assisted, so like 90% of the way is powered by a spring. The only part that's not is right here, but then every other spot on the blade is spring assisted. Again, this one only like 20% of the blade is spring assisted. So here you guys go. Kershaw Leek, partially serrated. Stops, not thumb studs. There you guys go.